welcome back to my channel. I am your favorite advice giver. Today's video is a face the facts. Run the intro, Jalen. It's been a hot little minute since I did face the facts. Girl, I haven't been in here in a hot little minute, but we're gonna jump right into this tea because this one is called My Life is a Tyler Perry Movie. Hey Bo, I love your channel. I hope you're doing well. Now let's get to it. I have an older sister who has always been the black sheep / troublemaker. She has always been in toxic relationships with men, but her recent ones have been too much. She has 2 daughters by 2 different men that don't support her children. Then, one day in the middle of the night, she left to move 19 hours away to be with her youngest child's father. They got into it and he left her homeless with 2 kids and called CPS on her, in which the family stepped in to get them back home. Well, praise Jesus. Oh my God. Months later, she left in the night again to go back to him. Oh Lord, child. Oh Lord have mercy. Just recently, she moved back home with us again with her kids, and we got them everything they needed, including her own place rent-free. My mom was so happy to have her kid and grandkids back, but my sister was sick with her diabetes, and my mom took care of her. She actually was sick, but I believe it was more so from stress and partying. She literally lost so much weight, and I couldn't recognize her. Then, literally, we thought things were going well. She ups and leaves again, and my mom was absolutely devastated. Okay, so one thing that a lot of people don't talk about in abuse, especially in abuse with narcissists, is that you become, or you can become, because girl, not me, but you can become addicted to the person that is your abuser. It's weird. It's hard to understand, but you become addicted to it. So that's probably what's happening with your sister, which is why she keeps going back. When you're in it, you cannot see it. It's almost like you're living in a bubble and everybody knows you're in a bubble except for you. Like the Truman Show in a sense. But her behavior is very much giving what a crackhead would give. So like a crackhead might get clean for a couple of days and then have a crack binge and disappear on you in the middle of the night, just like your sister is disappearing in the middle of the night. She's addicted to her person. It had been about 2 months since she had been gone, and she calls me to tell me that she's homeless, in a shelter, pregnant, with twins. Damn! By some random man who's a truck driver that she met within those couple of months. She moved back. I'm sorry, I didn't know where the story was going. She keeps asking for money, and so many people have cut her off. I keep her at arm's length, but I'm at my end because we try so hard to help her, and every time she left, she got worse. I'm not sure what's going on with her mentally, but she needs to take accountability for her actions. What's even crazier is the fact that she mentioned my dad had, her dad had, her years ago, and no one said or did anything about it or to see if it was true. At the time, I was 12 when she told my mom. Years later, when my brother found out, he questioned my dad, to which my dad denied, but honestly, it didn't sound convincing, but yet things aren't adding up on either side. I'm just confused, but that could explain why she acted the way she has. Yeah, because she definitely is giving, she has some kind of sexual trauma. Lord have mercy. I'm just confused. But that could explain why she acts the way she has. I don't know how to go about things with her, and she is about to be a single mom with 4 kids with no job and no way to provide 19 hours away. I guess I'm asking, what should I do? Should I keep her? Should I help her come back again, or just leave her alone? Okay, thanks, love ya. When there's children involved and the mother's not well, because their mother is not well, it's so freaking hard to offer advice because I don't want to give the wrong advice. Everything is different. Everything is a case-by-case type thing. And if I were you in the situation, there's 2 ways I feel like I would handle this. My first thought is y'all gotta get the kids away from her because she's not living a stable life. And if she wants to run around and stick with the man that's 19 hours away and be in that web, she can do that, but the kids can't do that with her. No way, no ma'am. So as the family, I would keep the children. I would figure out how to get the kids, and I would keep the kids. You guys have helped get the kids back out of the CPS situation. So I'm thinking you guys might have some leverage there already, and you guys may be able to raise those kids in a stable, healthy, happy environment. Obviously, she's pregnant, and obviously she's not mentally well. So you cannot talk to somebody that is not all there, so to speak. You cannot tell somebody that's not well to, let me help you if they're not ready for help, if they don't even see that they need help. She may have issues that you guys know nothing about because she's not been diagnosed with anything, but she could be suffering from a lot of different things, and it does not help that she has traumas that she has not dealt with. So that also plays a major role. I don't know what to tell you about your father, because that's a whole other story for like a whole other day. My whole thing is, if she told your mom, and you were 12, you didn't say how old she was, and nobody did anything about it, that's going to be playing a role. And your mom actually has lots of things to be answered. Lots of questions that need answering from not just your sister, but from y'all, now that everybody's aware. I love the fact that your brother questioned your father about it. However, I'm side-eyeing your mom right now, because no good mother is hearing that from their kid and not doing something about it. You know what I mean? Or having the child still stay in that environment. And you didn't give too much details about that situation, but like I said, that's another situation for another day. But that's like an added layer, and one of the main layers actually of this situation, because most of the things that she's experiencing now where men are concerned are going to stem from whatever trauma she's had in her childhood regarding whatever was happening in the home or outside of the home with somebody that she trusted. She has an issue where trust is concerned with men, and she tends to be vulnerable and trust the wrong men. Okay, like a lot of us are like that. But it takes healing, and it takes accountability, like you said, that you wish she had, and it takes therapy to get to the bottom of those things. There's really nothing you guys can do outside of protecting the children in any way that you can. If she's not ready to get out of whatever situation she's in, she keeps going back, she needs rehab, she needs therapy, she needs a lot of things. And if she doesn't agree to them, it's like your hands are tied. When you have a sibling that you are rooting for, and I've been there because I understand that. I have 4 siblings, and I do have siblings that I'm always like rooting for, like, oh my God, please get it together now, please get it together, and then they just don't get it together, and you're like, what can you do? It's a tough spot to be in, because you want your sibling, your sister, your brother, whoever, to be the best version of themselves. And some people aren't ready to admit that they have mental health issues. Some people aren't ready to accept that they have mental health issues, and they think that they can, I don't know, pray it away, girl. No. Like, it's really frustrating to witness somebody you love going through hard times, or repeating the same things over and over and over again, and just not getting it, and not thinking or admitting, maybe I do have a problem. Like, not just mom saying something. My siblings are saying that I have a problem, but I'm gonna swear I ain't got a problem. You know what I mean? You have to take accountability at one point or another. But what I've learned in my life is that some people never get it. And I'm not going to say it's okay if they never get it, but it is what it is. Your sister might be that way. She might never get it. I don't feel like you should just leave her alone. I think you should keep as much contact with her as possible and make sure she's good, but don't enable her behavior. Don't send her no damn money. If she asks for that help and is desperate for the help and wants to come and be at home with you guys, I think you guys should leave the door open. As long as she's not coming there and stealing, okay, like a crackhead might, like, as long as she's not coming and stealing, yes, you probably feel like she's wasting your time, and it hurts every time you guys open the door and let her come and stay. But you do need to draw a line somewhere and offer and do put a boundary down, because if you don't put the boundaries in place to say, listen, if you come this time and you leave, please don't call our phone again. We're not going to save you the next time. This is your last chance, your last warning. Sometimes you have to give people tough love. You can tell her, we will call you, text you, make sure you're okay, but you will not be coming back into our house, because what you're doing is not only hurting you, but it's hurting your children. And that, to me, is the bigger picture here. What about the kids? Like, I can't stand when people don't get it together when they have children. Like, if you have kids and you can't get it together, what are you doing? You know what I mean? But some people are literally so traumatized that they just can't get it together. And you have to just move on from that. You just have to accept it. And the kids eventually, as they get older, they are going to resent their parent. But they're also, if they don't fall into that same cycle and they get the understandings and stuff that some of us were not fortunate to get, they will understand. My mom was suffering from a mental illness. My mom was, and she physically and literally couldn't be a mother to me. She had me traveling back and forth every other month or whatever, however frequently she comes and goes, 19 hours away from the family that would have taken care of me. And, that's likely what the situation will be if she doesn't get it together. But if you guys can step in and take the kids out of her control or out of her care, to me, that's the most ideal situation. It'll be hi. The only time I would ever suggest removing kids from a mother's care is if the mother's unfit or the father's unfit. If the father's unfit, don't put the kids in his care. If the mother's unfit, don't put the kids in her care. But put the kids in the care of somebody that can take care of them. Now, I don't know if that's your mama, because your sister told your mom what happened to her, and if I'm speaking out of turn, please, let us know in the comment section. If your sister went to your mama and she didn't do something about your papa, I wouldn't want my niece and my nephew, or my nieces, I wouldn't want her kids in your mom's care either, because, like I said, I'm side-eyeing. But if that's not the case, and your mom is a good grandma, and you are a good auntie, and your brother's a good uncle, then for sure, raise the kids. Oh my God, you're so pretty. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. You didn't recognize her. She did lose a lot of weight. Oh my God. And also, I know that you sent this email a while back. So if there's an update on this, let us know. Hey, Bo. I think I lost my best friend because of a guy. So I have this best friend. I freaking love her. I have known her since we were freshmen in high school. I'm 28 now. We were always close and shared everything with each other. We are polar opposites, but it worked for us being different. She got a BF 4 years ago, and I was so happy. I saved the relationship more than I could count because she would always overreact. But I was never angry or mad when she had to cancel because of her man. Anyway, always supported and was happy for her. And she never made me feel no type of way. I would date, but nothing too serious. Now, 2019, I met the love of my life. He's just it for me, and I know I couldn't let this one go. She was happy and all, but one weekend, I forgot we had plans, and I made plans with my boyfriend. Keep in mind, we talked every day. I could be forgetful at times. Girl, me too. So yeah, back to the story. I made plans and hung out with my boyfriend, forgetting I had already made plans with her. I remembered mentioning my plans to her, and she never said anything or reminded me about our plans. Here's the thing. My boyfriend is the sweetest, always telling me he doesn't mind if I already had something planned. When he's planning something, we could always move it to another day. But girl, I honestly forgot about me and my best friend's plans. Girl, I had to tell you, ma'am, you got periods in all the wrong places. Is this okay? I'm like struggling to read this email, but we gonna work on that, okay? I'm gonna do an English workshop. I'm gonna do a punctuation workshop, girl. Anyway, and she didn't remind me about the fact that we had plans until a whole week later. My best friend is very jealous and territorial. So she expressed that now that I have a man, I'm forgetting about her. Once I realized I messed up, I apologized profusely and tried to do everything to make it up to her. I took her out and hung out with her every chance I got. She also told me I was acting like her ex-best friend, which actually hurt me. But she was so hurt, I didn't argue. The backstory about the ex-friend is a long story, but her ex-friend chose a guy over their friendship. Okay, so she has PTSD. Back to the story. Now, every time I bring up my BF, she always says she feels the same way because now her time is being split. I told her, don't think like that, and that I was doing my best for her to feel like we're still best friends and nothing has changed. Y'all is too grown for this. If I want to be my man, I want to be my man. Like, we are grown-ups. You're 28 and you're over one plan that got ruined. Girl, bye. Life happens. If she thinks her time is being split now, wait till you go off and have children. What's she gonna do then? Tell you can't take your kids out for ice cream because she want to hang out with you instead? Girl, have a seat. Have several. Our relationship got to a point where I didn't bring up my boyfriend's name or tell her what was up with us and the things we did, which was kind of sad for me, but I didn't want to bring up any old feelings for her. Now, fast forward to July of this year with COVID. I remember we haven't talked for a while, so I texted her, let's do brunch. No answer. I texted her in August, what's up? No answer. Called her, no response. So I just thought that she was going through some things, which is normal. She'll go missing for like 2-3 months. Fast forward again, December 3rd is my birthday. No birthday wishes. Oh, so you're a Sagittarius. What sign was she? Because when you said she was jealous and possessive, I'm not going to lie. I'm like, oh, is she a Taurus? Okay. Not that Taurus are jealous and possessive, but there are some that are definitely jealous and possessive. Tasmanian devil, no shade, okay? Every year since as long as I could remember, 12 a.m. on the dot, she would be the first to wish me happy birthday. That's when I realized our relationship is not the same and we might not be friends anymore. A week after my B-Day, I remember crying to my boyfriend about the situation and was going to call her, but he said no. He sees me bending over backwards for her and he feels like I'm chasing the friendship, so I didn't. I miss my best friend. What is your thoughts and advice on the situation? Should I continue to try or let it go and wait for her to come back to me? I say, leave the door open. I say she's very childish. Leave the door open. Maybe you're not giving me enough detail, but I feel like she's childish in the situation. I feel like if you were not giving her hell about when she was hanging out with her man or she's talking to you about her man, and if you were a good friend while she had a boyfriend, I don't see why it's not being reciprocated. Where's the reciprocity? This is not fair. I feel like you should be able to have balance. I don't feel like anybody should always be hitched up under their man, and I don't feel like anybody that has a boyfriend should always be hanging out with their friends and not spending any time with their boyfriend. You know what I mean? I feel like there should be balance there. You should be hanging out with your boyfriend and you should also be hanging out with your best friend, your girls, whoever. When there's no balance, that's when it kind of causes a problem. Now, some people don't realize they're doing it, but they do just want to go and be with their man all the damn time. And I'm the type of person that finds that annoying. I'm like, you not tired of him? I'm definitely the kind of like, what? I don't like being put on the back burner for my friends, and then when them and their man break up, then they try to call back. That I don't respect. Bitch. However, at my big age, if somebody cancels plans with me because, you know, well, not even cancel, if you genuinely forgot, it is what it is. But I'm not the type of person that is not going to be like the day before we are going out, if we don't talk, maybe we're not going. So if I don't text you and say, hey, are we still on for tomorrow? I probably didn't want to go. So like, if I text you, if I know that we have plans, I'm going to text you. And I'm going to be like, so tomorrow, what are you wearing, sis? Because I want to wear this and I don't want to like outdress you. Like I want us to look good together. So like, what are you wearing? And then you're gonna be like, oh shoot, I double booked. It's not that hard. Like communication is not hard in 2022. Okay. And to me, like I said, your friend is being childish. So what I would do if I were you is I would send one last message to leave the door open. And your friendship probably won't be the same if you send this message and she doesn't say anything right now. Because like you said, you miss your friend. but maybe she has growing to do. And so I'm all for allowing people to have their growth periods, whether it's away from me or next to me. You could grow, okay? Because I'm growing, okay? So I would say, you know what? I understand that you were very hurt when I forgot that we had plans and I went out with my boyfriend instead. That was never my intention. I've expressed that to you. I love you. And if you don't want to talk to me ever again, cool. Not really cool, but you know, I understand. But I'm hoping that that's not the case. And the door is always open. So when you hit me up, we can have a chat. Simple as that. If you really genuinely care about this person and you want to keep the friendship, but see me, I'm not playing childish games. And I've been in situations like that before where people thought that they could ignore me. And then, how you gonna diss me and crawl back, girl? No, stand on what you say. If you're gonna ignore me, I don't ignore people.
Allegedly.
Okay? Unless I'm cutting them off forever. So if you're gonna ignore me, you can go over there and continue to ignore me forever. Don't try to come back like you weren't just ignoring me for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever, however many days. Don't try to come back like you weren't ignoring me. I send you a message you didn't answer, and now you're... No. You're not about to spin the block on me. You are not about to spin the block on me, especially not today. Like, it's not acceptable.
Unacceptable!
Communication is so easy. And if the person is upset, because this has happened to me before too, where I said something that somebody didn't like and they didn't address it, they just decided to ignore me. And then when I messaged them again, they were like being cold or like short with me. And I'm like, do we have a problem? What's tea? Because you didn't communicate that you didn't like my little jokey joke. I'm jokey. So it's like, what? Well, why didn't you say something? Because if I say something and I'm joking with you, because we always joke, but you're upset about something else maybe, and you don't receive my joke and it upsets you, and you don't tell me, how am I supposed to know that? Am I a sidekick? I know I look like Cleo, but I'm not a sidekick. I cannot assume that you're upset at my joke. What am I supposed to do that? So you tell me. Because at the end of the day, I'm a big girl. So if somebody tells me you said something, I didn't appreciate that joke, like I'm actually upset about this, whatever it is, it's like, oh, my bad, I'm sorry. Like I am never too big to apologize, okay? Like, unless I'm not wrong. If I'm not wrong, I ain't apologizing. Well, like, if I'm wrong, I'm gonna apologize. It takes nothing to tell somebody that you're sorry. Like, it's $0 and 0 cents, okay? Sometimes when you don't apologize, your bag gets messed up too. So I'm not against apologizing. So if I'm wrong, I'll apologize. If I'm not wrong, though, you can kiss my whole entire
log out.
But yeah, leave the door open, girl. Hey, Bo, I love your Facing the Facts videos, and I always tune in. You give great advice, and you feel like my big sis in my head. Please keep me anonymous. I had a really good friend in middle school. We always hung out, and we knew each other's families very well. She would spend the night all the time, and basically, we grew up together. Anyways, we ended up going to different high schools and we sort of fell out of touch. Not fell out, fell out of touch. I ended up becoming best friends with her cousin, which I didn't know till later down the line. When I say me and the cousin were best friends, we were best friends. Literally did everything together, basically inseparable. One day, we started hanging out with this other girl who was obviously jealous of our friendship, which I didn't realize at the time. She wanted to be my best friend's best friend. Eye roll emoji. Let me tell you something. When you add a third body to the friend group, girl, not working out. Not working. No, send it back. Back to sender, please, okay? The three of us started hanging out more and more when all of a sudden my BFF started treating me like her lap dog. Ooh, now she Nene Leakes and Cynthia Bailey, girl. Demanding I do this, grab that, go get me this, blah, blah, blah. She became very demanding, and I think the other girl was talking ish about me to my BFF. I don't know, child, but anyways, at that time I was young and didn't know how to communicate my feelings very well, so I ended up just blowing up at her. Took all my things from her house and basically ended that friendship abruptly. This happened towards the end of our junior year of high school. Now, my now ex-BFF ended up having all the people that we used to hang out with start to bully me. Ooh, not the Mean Girls girl. Oh no. They would call me names in the hallways. They would prank call me and tell me to myself. That's not cool. They constantly harassed me and would not leave me alone. It was the worst time of my life. This continued all the way until I graduated. Wow. I had no friends. My senior year was hell. So the good friend I had from middle school got in on the bullying. Oh my God. It was a familiar affair, child. Oh my gosh, not a familiar. I think she meant family girl. It was a family affair, child. But I'll never forget her calling me and telling me that our friendship meant nothing to her. She hated me and blood is thicker than water. That right there hurt me the most. She was the last person I thought would bully me. I knew her before all of this craziness, and I figured she would have taken up for me since we had known each other for so long. I mean, I helped her run away from her abusive family on top of many other things, but whatever. Well, hurt people, girl. So fast forward to the end of 2020, and we are all adults now, pushing almost 30 years old. She finds my IG and messages me, says she's so sorry for bullying me and apologized for saying that blood is thicker than water, which honestly meant a lot to me because no one has ever apologized to me for how all that went down. She even said that her cousin doesn't like her anymore and they haven't talked in years. I accepted the apology and told her we were all young and dumb. We basically squashed the issues and started following each other on Instagram. We even have each other's phone numbers. At this time, she was living in a different state. She told me she was moving back to our hometown and that when she did, she wanted to take me to lunch to catch up. I agreed and thought that was a good idea. It has now been 2 years since she's moved back, and every time we would try to meet up, it was a conflict of schedules, or she always had some type of excuse, or she would text me the day of and say she couldn't make it for a number of reasons. Relationship problems, car trouble, family trouble. Mind you, we follow each other on social media, so I see her constantly hanging out with other people from our hometown. Oh my gosh. I am now regretting letting her back into my personal space. So, question to you is, should I block her ass? Girl, this is what you emailed me about, ma'am. If you should hit the block button on somebody. Girl, there are people dying, Kim. Like, what is going on? What is going on? Or what should I do? Or not anything at all. I was open to getting to know her again, but I'm not too sure anymore. Should I just be happy with my apology and leave it at that? Anyways, thanks, Bill. Wishing you and your girls all the best. Thank you, ma'am. Now, don't do anything, okay? If you don't like seeing her on your timeline, if you're that pressed, unfollow her. I don't think you need to block her. I think the unfollow is a clear message. Once you unfollow her, she's either going to unfollow you too, or she's going to message you and be like, hey, why did you unfollow me? And then all you have to say is, honestly, I was really looking forward to hanging out with you, but you are constantly making excuses, and I just don't think there's a point anymore. So that's it. You don't owe her that, by the way. You don't owe her any explanation. In 2023, okay, because 2022 is almost over. In 2023, we're not doing explaining ourselves. We're not. So if you don't want to talk to somebody anymore, thank you for your services. It was good while it lasted. See you when I see you, wouldn't want to be ya. Okay, like, I don't know what to tell you, but don't block her. I don't think you need to hit the block on her. Cool that you got your apology, though. I like that. Hey, Bo, my name is Kayla, and I recently turned 21 in July. I've been watching you since 2016, and I've been hooked ever since. I hope you remember, girl. Okay, so my mom and dad, who were first loves or something like that. I say that because my dad has always been a player. Thanks to him, I got 8 siblings between 5 baby mamas. Girl, the ghetto. What is going on? My mom got pregnant with me at 19 and had me at 20, and they broke up when I was a baby. All throughout my life, my dad was inconsistent and always in and out of my life. But he was taking care of my other siblings that he had with my stepmom, which always affected me even now. Fast forward to when I was 7 years old, my mom found out she was pregnant with my little brother, and the father, of course, was my bald-headed father. Not he bald, girl. Bald men are so problematic, okay? I was ecstatic. I thought God had heard my little prayers and brought them back together. That wasn't the case because the entire time my dad was still with my stepmom and other ladies as well. Papa was a rolling stone. Okay, your daddy is getting it. He must be fine, girl. I hope you inserted a photo of daddy because at this point, I'm coming to be baby mama number 6. Does he have a bag? I'm just joking, guys. Could you guys imagine? What if I end up with one of like you guys' dads? What if one of your dads ends up being my sugar daddy? Then what? What if I become one of your stepmothers? It's gonna be we're gonna go out, we're gonna have so much fun. I'm a cool mom. Let me stop. Okay. When my brother was around 6 months old, the picture perfect family came to an end. Throughout the years, your dad is like house hopping, ain't he? He's a homosexual. Okay, he catch up enough problem with one girl, he go to the next girl. He playing his cards right. Throughout the years, I've watched my father be the best dad to my little brother and be consistent in his life, which makes me sad. But I love that my brother doesn't have to experience the things that I went through as a child because it's something you never forget. Fast forward to current day, my little brother is 12 years old and they have a tight bond still. But I've noticed when I turned 16 years old, my parents started communicating through me about my little brother. Ooh, no ma'am. No. Don't involve the kids. Don't. Since they always end up arguing and putting me in the middle, which I have a problem with because I don't like talking to the man. And also, I feel like this is not my responsibility. And it's not. I don't even live at home with my brother anymore. So I don't always know what's going on. And that's how miscommunication occurs. Although the sister in me deals with this dynamic because I don't want my brother to be affected negatively in any way, he already is negatively affected. Even if you're not seeing it on the outside, when he gets to like your age, we're gonna hear all about it. Once he's like 16, we're gonna hear all about it. He's probably expressing it now to somebody. You guys are gonna hear about how his parents' relationship has affected him. And his communication style is gonna probably end up being toxic, like the communication style that your parents are having about him. And he's 12 now. Like, get him his own phone, dad, and talk to him on the phone yourself. Like, talk to him yourself. I don't know. I drop him off and pick him up from my dad's house and drop him off to my mom's house. Not to mention, neither of them gives me gas. So as a broke college student paying for rent and bills, my pockets are suffering. Girl, quit your parents, okay? Quit your parents. This is not okay. They're not even giving you gas. Have you asked for gas? You need to ask for gas. But beyond that, you don't need to ask for gas because this is done. Okay? I, as your father's sixth baby mother, I'm putting my foot down and telling you, you will not pick up your brother and drop him off anymore. Quit. Mom, dad, I'm busy. Don't call me about my brother anymore. I'm sorry. Let them figure it out. You have nothing to do with that situation. Okay? You're not your brother's mom. And unless your brother says, sis, can I just stay at your house this weekend? I don't want to be at mom's or dad's. Then you do that if you can. But like, don't overextend yourself to people that are not going to overextend themselves to you. Been there, done that. Y'all, if y'all don't do nothing else, take all my mistakes, write them down, and be like, I do not want to be like Bo. Okay? Who she was now, girl. New me is still loading. But like, old Bo? Oh, girl, don't be like her, girl. I don't know. Who even is she? I don't even know her. Like, I don't know her. Overextending is not it. Go watch Tasmanian Devil over again if you have to. Overextended, got pooped on. Toxic man, pooped on. Me poopa, poop on. Like, overextending. I'm always giving olive branches. I'm always being Miss Nice Nice. No, I want to be Miss Mean Mean. I'm not Miss Nice Nice anymore. Now what else is going on? What else is going on? No more overextended. In 2013, in 2023, why am I going back to 2013? What happened in 2013? 2013 was a bad year for me, girl. In 2023, we are not overextending ourselves. No, people don't deserve it, okay? Heaps of coal for them all. Oh, okay. I don't do it for them. I do it for my inner child and my brother because as a child, I always wished I had someone like me to step in and mediate the situation. Any advice would be great because I don't know what to do. Oh, baby. That kind of made me emotional. You doing it for your inner child. Our inner children, they need love, okay? A lot of it. I wish I had got to the end of your email before I just ranted on about 2023. And not overextending ourselves, but you know what? Even though you feel like you're doing it for your inner child, I feel like you're not doing it for your inner child. I feel like you're doing it for your brother's inner child, you know? And maybe one day your brother's gonna feel the same way you feel right now. But to me, all you're doing is extending the hurt of your inner child by continuing to have this ongoing issue, and putting yourself through that for somebody else's sake. I completely understand and I'm completely empathetic towards your brother, especially because he's so young. But you said it yourself. Your father has been active in his life. Your father has stepped up in a sense, and in your eyes, he's done well by your brother, but not by you. And so to me, you're pouring salt in that wound every single time you pick your brother up, drop your brother off, text your dad, have to talk to your dad. You said you don't even want to talk to him. Your inner child is keeping that door open, and you're just still in this hamster wheel going around and around and around and around and around. And you're really not, I don't think you're doing anything for baby girl. You're not. I think it's definitely further hurting her because your inner child is still watching your little brother get everything you wish that you had and being put in the middle of it. She's still in the middle of it. You've been in the middle of it for years. You need to take some time for yourself. You're getting to be a big girl now. You're in your 20s. You need to live your life. Your brother still has another 6 years of this back and forth BS unless your brother starts saying, I don't want to go to jazz this weekend. And he doesn't have to. If he says, I don't want to go, he doesn't have to go. So are you planning on doing this till you're 27? You said you're 21. You're 21. 27. I was right the first time. Do you plan on doing this driving, picking up thing for another, you can't live your life because you're stuck over here because your parents can't get it together. I'm sorry, but screw them. It's time to live for you. Your daddy didn't do nothing for you, and you're doing him a favor by doing his job for him because your dad should be picking up his son. Your brother can sit on the porch and wait for your dad to pick him up. Your dad don't need to go in the house and disturb your mom. There does not need to be any communication between them to pick up that boy and drop that boy up. And he's old enough to have his own phone so that they really don't have to communicate. I've seen it happen. I've seen it work. Get a parenting app, something. But your pickup, drop off days, your involvement with this case, Miss Social Worker, done. Hi, Bo. I've been a subscriber for a few years now, and I want to express how much I appreciate your authenticity. It's awesome to see a fellow young, fly Caribbean girl living her best life against all odds. Big ups. So I'm writing today to share why I'm grateful for my deadbeat dad. Let me sneeze, girl. Jesus. Oh. For context, my dad was always in and out of my life from a young age. He was engaged to my mom and they broke up after he cheated on her, creating my brother, who's 2 days younger than me. A mess. Deadass. So he left our country when I was a few months old to study in New York. He lived there and we see each other every once in a while between regularish phone calls. I was usually a good kid where academics are concerned. He was proud of that. So in a way, it was my direct way of getting his attention. We lost contact once I became a teenager and started seeing a side of him that he hid from me. He always struggled to accept that his choices hurt me over the years. He's the type that always has justification for everything. Oh, and bringing God in to back him up. Girl, God ain't backing up no deadbeat. And that's what I know about my God. Trigger warning, infant loss. Fast forward to present day. I last heard of my father about 3 years ago. I texted him on Father's Day and didn't hear from him again. Until now, 3 years later, when I reached out to him to let him know about my pregnancy. I told him that he was a grandfather. I sourly relished in his excitement before letting him know that my son passed away in vitro. This was hard to say to him after everything we had been through. Some small part of me had wished that my ideal family could still be possible, that it could have included him. When we got off the phone, because he was so shaken up, I wondered if he actually cared for me how I needed. Then he started missing my calls again. Instead, he would forward WhatsApp chain messages to me. One of them said, if someone can make you angry, then they have power over you. It's giving gaslighting. Now it's been a month since his last message, and I'm preparing myself for it to go longer than I expect. I'm not going to chase or negotiate with him on the treatment I'd like to receive. I'm honestly exhausted and just living off vibes at the moment. I'm also feeling grateful that my father is who he is. Being his daughter has been a practice of my patience, forgiveness, and communication style. The stories about your relationship with your father have been so necessary. I needed to see that the hurt and rage can be overcome. So thank you for being vulnerable with us. May the Lord be pleased with our work. Okay, so she's not asking for advice, but since she's talking to me about her deadbeat dad, I want to know from you guys, with deadbeat dads, when you have watched my content about my personal experience with my deadbeat dad over the years, and when you see where I was when I dropped my deadbeat dad, the pastor, versus where I was or where I am today, when you saw my last conversation with my father, and knowing that I have cut him off cold turkey, I will not have anything to do with him, past that last phone conversation. I want to know from you guys where you are on that scale. Are you guys at the cutoff point? Are you guys working through it? Have you been able to work through it? What is the status of your relationship with your deadbeat dad today? Hello, Bougie. Sending love to you and your family all the way from New York. I'm from where dreams are made. There's nothing you can't do. Find her, find her and sign her. Okay, so basically, I'm a Scorpio. Yes. And I know that at times I can be super sensitive, but I'm just not too sure at this moment. I do not have any friends. I only have 3 close friends from high school. And at this point, I'm a sophomore in college. Sorry, I'm not laughing at this. I'm laughing at my breakout song just now. I can't. I decided to go to a local college in my city instead of going upstate New York, so I haven't really made new friends. I made associates for sure, but I just stick to the 3 friends. The only problem is they are just overall not reliable. Okay, one thing I can't take is somebody that's not reliable. Okay, friend, family, foe. Okay, if you're unreliable, please just go somewhere else with that. Cause I'm reliable AF. Okay, I get things done. Now don't come at me about your merch. Now it's on the way. But that's neither here nor there. I'm getting it done, okay? It's taking me a little long. I'm getting it done. Anyway, one of my friends have super strict parents, which is understandable. The other one is always with her girlfriend, which is fine. And the last one literally has no excuse. Overall, we basically only see each other during the summer because it seems like everyone is busy. And I'm okay with this. This is not even the issue. The issue is that my birthday is coming up and I usually never celebrate it because I know that I do not have friends that will actually make it a priority to show up, and I just do not want to be disappointed. I end up celebrating my birthday with my sisters, and I love my sisters, but come on, of course I would want to have my friends around to celebrate. So I finally decided to plan a birthday outing to a lounge since I'm turning 19, and I told all of them in advance, and I even went on to say, all that I ask is that you guys make it happen. They literally just need to show up. Anyway, since my birthday is approaching, I reminded all of them over again, and one of my friends already said, I'm in school all the way upstate. I'm not going. It's giving J. Alexander. But she literally told me she was coming before. So I said, why not? I'll literally get you a bus ticket. Her school is not that far. It's like 4-hour bus ride. Now, 4 hours is a long time, girl. It's a long. I drive to Toronto 4 hours, okay? It's long. On the bus, it's even more long because it's uncomfortable, It's 4 hours is long, and then it's 4 hours back, and I was like, do I really? But if somebody I need you to be there, girl. I'm gonna be there, okay? If you need me, girl, I'm there. If you don't need me, I'm at home. And my sister's boyfriend is a scammer. Oh, girl, leave this out the email, girl. We want to hear about elevating in life, okay? My sister's boyfriend is a scammer, so I could get her here and back for free. Girl, don't involve yourself. Karma will come back, okay? You think because your sister's boyfriend is the scammer, it's going to come back on him? No, baby. You actively participated in the scam, running up other people's credit cards. I know it's the norm in New York, but come on, babe. Come on. It's not giving that. I got too much good credit for these scammers to be. That's why I'm really mad. Like, I could be a victim. Absolutely not. Okay? I told her all this, and I literally said she can come Friday, celebrate on Saturday, and she'll be back to college by Sunday. So on Monday morning, she can attend school. This chick is like, I work on Fridays. I don't want to miss work. I'm like, come on, it's one day. Then she says, I am going to ask my mom because I don't think she'll let me go to New York only for a day and then come back. I literally was about to cry or spaz out on her, especially since I never even celebrate my birthday, and this is exactly why. But honestly, I feel like I was even forcing her to come, so I'm just considering cutting her off completely. I already started by not texting her, and she's of course texting me OD right now and liking my TikToks and stuff, but I feel so underappreciated and sad overall. Like, I'm always there for everyone's birthday. I make it a priority. It just hurts so much that I'm never considered. Okay, I understand this wholeheartedly, but something I've been learning over the years is everybody's not going to give what you give, and it's not okay. But it's life, it's real. Like, everybody's just not going to be the same type of friend you are to them that you are to them. and you're 19, right? Or you're turning 19, so to me, you still have that 19-year-old mindset where you feel like people need to, you feel a little entitled to people's time. And I get it. It's your birthday. It's important to you, but it's your birthday. So, of course, it's important to you. And even though you don't celebrate it normally and you finally decided, I'm going to celebrate it, and then it was a disappointment, I'm the same way, but I don't bother. I was supposed to do a big for do it like it's your B-day, baby. Like, I was supposed to do a big for 30, girl. I didn't. I told my cousin, come down, come party with me. Low key, my cousin probably happy that I didn't call her and tell her, you know what, we're gonna actually do this and that and this and this. Cause baby girl was hiding her pregnancy like Kylie Jenner, okay? I didn't even know my cousin was pregnant, but I was telling her come for my birthday. Next thing you know, I find out she's about to have a baby. I'm like, what? That's neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is, everybody does not care about your birthday. And I'm the same way, girl. I don't really care about my birthday. Like, I don't. Because I don't have time to be telling, hey, are you going to be there? Are you going to be there? Are you going to be there? Meanwhile, I just want to be at home watching Netflix and getting drunk by myself. Okay? Like, I don't know what it is about the birthday. It's like, it's just another day, Obviously, if you're having some extravagant party, you want people to show up. But you were kind of just having an intimate gathering, and like, I don't know, 4 hours of traveling to party is just not something I'm into unless this is some, like, I need to be, like, this is just a party I can't miss. You know what I mean? Sometimes people are in their own element, and you can't really expect them to come out of that for your sake. That being said, you're not wrong. Okay, so I don't want you to think that I'm telling you that you're wrong for being upset with your friend. However, I don't feel like this is a cut off moment. I don't think that it's necessary to cut her off unless this is a pattern in her behavior where she's never being supportive of you. You know what I mean? And not just on the birthday front, but like as a friend. That's not cool. If they're never supportive, that's a reason to cut off. But if she, for this time she's deciding she doesn't really feel like it, then she doesn't feel like it, Also, to keep in mind, last year she came back to New York from upstate just to celebrate her birthday with us because she has no friends for real at her college. So whatever she said about her mom is a complete lie. Okay. I really gotta start reading these emails top to bottom, then giving my opinion instead of stopping in between. Anyway, thank you for listening. If you can give any advice, that would be great. 10/23 will be my birthday. Okay. Happy belated birthday, because obviously October just ended and your birthday just passed. But I feel like if it's her birthday and she wants to celebrate, obviously she's gonna come and celebrate her birthday. I feel like that's a given, but it's your birthday. So the celebration's not really about her. And a lot of times when stuff is not about people, they really generally don't care, okay? Unless they're your like best friend, like, they'll do anything for you. Like I tell you guys all the time about my best friend that she comes here, literally drives 4.5 hours to, well, like 3.5, but like 4.5 hours from Toronto to where I live. And she comes, she brings her kids, she hangs out with me for hours, and her kids hang out with my kids for hours. And then she takes herself back home that same day. Like, that's my best friend. Go best friend. That's my actual, like, real life best friend. Has consistently done that where she's traveled over the years, okay? Like, over the years, since I've lived in Ottawa, she always, before she had kids, she'd come visit me. After she has kids, she's still visiting me. Like, this is my real life friend. And, like, that's somebody that I would go to the ends of the earth for. She would go to the ends of the earth for me. period. Like, there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. However, I told her I was having birthday plans, and then I didn't go on with my birthday plans. And, but she told me that she would be here for my birthday, and I could trust that she was going to be here for my birthday because, you know, but then I just didn't do anything. But I think that I wouldn't, if she couldn't make it, I wouldn't cut her off. She has kids. And the best part about having kids sometimes is using your kids as an excuse. So like, you're like, oh, my kids are sick, I can't come. It's the best excuse in the world, girl. And nobody is going to bat an eye at it, okay? Keep in mind, my kids literally, they're sick every week since school started. It's ridiculous, okay? And when you think one sickness is over, another one starts. Right now, we're doing pink eye. Last week it was runny noses and cold, and this week it's also pink eye and runny noses. It's giving very old at this point, but like, it is what it is. And it don't skip me and my mama. Y'all saw me when my eye was pink the other day. Like, that's what's going on like every single week. So life is happening all the time, and I would never expect my friends to stop their life or travel 4 hours if they told me they didn't feel like it. Like, I wouldn't make a big deal out of it because I'm the one that lives out the way. You know what I mean? But yeah, obviously for her birthday, she's going to travel to you. Now, if you told her, hey, I'm coming to see you in your city for my birthday, I want to turn up with you and I'm going to come to you, and she hit you with the, no, I don't feel like it. That's completely different because you literally came to her. She didn't have to travel, do nothing. You know what I mean? Then I would say, yeah, that's not your friend. But because you were expecting her to come to you, I think, you know, it's not giving that. You're also asking her to miss work. Now, if you, because I've had guys be like, I'll pay for your shift or whatever, however many hours you're missing, blah, 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 blah. That's completely different. So if you tell her, okay, don't go to work on Friday, but I'm gonna get you right. I'm gonna give you a little, whatever you were gonna make that day, I'll pay, just come. But who's living like that? You're not freaking a celebrity. You're not deep in your bag like that to be giving. You're 20, 19. You don't have the money to be telling her you're gonna pay for her shift, right? I'm not missing work for nobody. Period. Okay. Look at me. I'm not missing work. So I understand you want to celebrate your birthday, but I don't think that your friend should be collateral damage because she's telling you like, nah, you know, it's not that she lives 15 minutes away. Cause again, that's a completely different story. But you will get it as you get older. I have to go pick up Say. When I come back, I'm going to do one more, and narcissist mother-in-law from hell is giving that. I'm going to do that one. And then we are going to, finish the video. I'll be right back. I think I lied to y'all when I said I was gonna come back and give y'all narcissistic mother from hell, a mother-in-law from hell. I lied. She's getting her own video because this email long as hell. We're gonna have to skip up to please help me because she kept it short and sweet and unique. Okay? Hey, Bo, I love you so much. I love you too. Before we start, please don't judge me. This is very personal and embarrassing. I'm 20 years old and I just broke up with my boyfriend in the beginning of September. For context, we haven't had sex since July. I have a really close friend we'll call Kai. Kai and I have been friends since middle school. One night we were smoking and joked about having a threesome with this guy. We'll call him Jay. I met him through another friend. He's a plug, weed. I met him last July and I had a thing with him. We basically planned out the threesome. And I mean planned. Signed documents, STD testing, and more. Well, aren't y'all some freaks? What the hell's going on? Not my subscribers.
Oh my God, what is that?
We are God-fearing Christian women.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing. On September 10th, I slept with a guy named Kev. We have had sex before in the past. Now, for my problem, I have genital...
He needs some milk.
Herpes. I just found out, and all I could do was cry. I feel gross and dirty. I don't know how I could be so careless. My ex gave it to me. Kev was tested a week prior to us doing anything and is clean. I'm so disgusted in myself. This has changed my life forever. I'll never be the same. I'll never feel the same. I can't fix this. The doctor can't fix this. No one can. I know you can live with it and it's not a death sentence, but how do I explain to future partners that I have this? My question is, how do I get out of this threesome? Obviously, this is something I want. I'm not going to go through with it based on my status. I will disclose this to future partners, but I am so embarrassed that I don't want to tell Kai or Jay, but I also still want both friendships. I'm so lost and confused. What do I do without exposing myself? I know it is probably best to be honest, but since I don't plan on having sex with either of them anymore, do I have to tell them? Wow. Was not expecting that. No, you don't have to tell them if you're not going to have sex with them. Your sexual history, your sexual status, your disease or infection status is nobody's business but yours, God's, and whoever you are going to have sex with. If you are backing out of this threesome, girl, I hope I'm not too late, chat, because this is a very old email. If you're backing out of the threesome, you don't need to disclose your status to them. If you decide that you are, still going to go through with it, which obviously you're probably not, then obviously you would have to disclose because that is assault. So if you don't disclose and I'm not sure what to tell you, but I don't think you should feel gross and dirty. This is something that happened to you. It didn't happen because of you. This is something that happened to you. Somebody gave it to you. And if your boyfriend knew he had it and he gave it to you, you need to sue him. You need to press criminal charges against him because not okay. But if he didn't know the same way you didn't know and are finding out now, then, that's really unfortunate. But I think that you should go to counseling that is geared towards people with this issue. I'm sure it exists because lots of people's stories are this way, where they find out randomly one day and their life has changed forever because there is no cure. There is no way to fix this. Yes, like you said, it's not a death sentence, but it's still something that is uncomfortable and still to this day uncomfortable for people to talk about. So I definitely, I feel for you. I'm sorry that you had to go through that because it's not fair and there is no cure. But I do want to, shout you out for being proactive and considerate, and also for having people that you sleep with tested regularly. Like, I love that because getting tested is not very common, Like, a lot of people think that they don't need to be tested regularly for things, and you should be. You really should be, So I commend you for that, and I commend you for having people that or sleeping with people that are also willing to do that. I think testing should be normalized. And maybe it is, and I don't know. Like, I feel like especially in like America, it's probably more normalized than it is in Canada. But like I don't think getting to, I don't know, girl, I don't know. I don't know. But for me, because I have kids, every time you get pregnant, you get tested. And before you give birth, you get tested. So I've been tested pretty regularly in the last few years. But like prior to that, and thinking that I had a faithful partner, I never really felt the need to go get tested. But now, at my big age, and if I so choose to dip my coochie in the water, I'll be at the damn clinic getting tested because niggas is dirty, okay? Some people are careless, and some people lie, and ooh, ain't nobody about to devastate me, chap. Sex is so scary. Oh my God. I don't think I'm gonna stick my coochie in the water. My coochie is gonna stay right here in these trousers. Oh my God, give me a chastity belt, please. But yeah, you don't have to expose yourself. Definitely suggest counseling, even grief counseling, because, and all jokes aside, I would be grieving. If I were in your position, I feel like I would be grieving because it might feel like a loss. It might feel like like a punch to the gut. There's only a few things that can kind of shake your world up, or change your life forever. Giving birth, losing a family member or somebody close to you, like losing your parents, and like herpes or HIV and AIDS. Like, there's only a few things that can really come in and really like pull the rug from under you and like, well, everything is different now. And I think those are really those 4 things. If one of those 4 things happens in your life, yeah, it's probably too much to process. So I wish you healing and peace about your situation, but just remember that it's not your fault, and it's happening to you, or it happened to you. It didn't happen because of you, and your STD, STI information is private information, and there's no shame in backing out. If the thing didn't already happen yet and you're watching this, all you have to do is be like, you know what, guys? I know we signed stuff, but I changed my mind. I'm not feeling it. And if they ask you why, just be like, I'm not feeling it. You don't have to over-explain or overshare. You don't have to tell your friend. You don't have to tell the other person. Just, I'm not feeling it anymore. Say it's not sitting right with me. I don't want to do it, And it is what it is. If they try to force or coerce you, cut them off. Like, that's really it. Now, that is it for this episode of Be With The Tea. But before I go, member shout outs. Okay, let's go back to my community tab. To Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Shout out to Danae Brianna. Shout out to Brittany. Shout out to Aaliyah Renee. Shout out to Sophie CS06. Shout out to Tanisha Sings because she's happy. Shout out to didn't I already shout that person out? Yes, I did. Shout out to Eddie. Shout out to Hermosa21. Shout out to Whitney Venus. Shout out to Ramona Flowers. Again, girl, you snuck in here. Shout out to Beverly M. I'm pretty sure she snuck in here too. Shout out to Fabulous. Shout out to Miss Divine. Shout out to Suki with the good coochie girl. Shout out to Simone, Zakara Caldwell. I already shouted you out. Shout out to Doll Kennedy. Shout out to Lizzie Forever. Shout out to my sis Mel S. Okay. Shout out to the other Yolanda. Shout out to K Sweets. Shout out to Natasia, Alincy Andrew. Shout out to Bria Backwoods. Shout out to Cece Ma. Shout out to Edisa Prezo. Shout out to Mornice. Shout out to Gia. Shout out to Kelly Kriak. Shout out to Sammy, Liddy McGritty. It's Giving Ashley, okay? Shout out to Miriam, Fina D, Alexis, not Alexis. Shout out to Miss Mesa, A New Day, Simone T, Angel Baby XO, Cayenne. We have this every single time. It's an issue. Ebony D, The Lash Empress. Shout out to all y'all. Oh, I think there's more. Shout out to Samira. Shout out to Makia. Shout out to Mishna. I remember. Shout out to Jay Foster, Slim Queen, Alexis, Deja, Destiny Castella. Is it Castella or Castella? Monique Hart, AJS, Joanna Figueroa, Sierra Steven, Rian, Rochelle, Whitney Venus, Jelly Bougie, Janice, Diamond Cook, Kalima Boltis, Camille Carnes, my good sis Young Rapunzel, okay, Raven Williams, I think that's it, girl. Kelsey Martin, Summer Secrets, Kay Shante, Erica Lewis, Takara Moore. Okay, I think I got all these people in the last video. Shar2341, Shakima Monique. Yeah, I think I got you all. I think I did it, girl. Shout out to all of the members. I love you all so much. If I didn't get you in this one, well, girl, make sure you get your comments when I post for your shout outs. I don't know what to tell you, but you all always comment and I'm like, oh my God, there's too many comments. I love you all so much and I will definitely see you in the next one.